Shoot me that link.
Yeah, just email it to D'Anthony at D'Anthony.org.
D'Anthony at D'Anthony.D'Anthony.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So we got a Dallas. You want to go that Dallas PPR mock? Yeah.
Welcome
To Drinkin Bros Sports Companion Show. Big day. Big day, Dan.
You're right.
Fucking A, dude. We do this sports show now year round. We weren't sure what was going to happen. Our sponsor, mybookie.com, was not happy with us last year because we absolutely scorched earth on our picks. They are back. Therefore, the sports show is back. We're doing the 2019 NFL Fantasy Football Mock Draft live on air. Man, my dick is all swollen. I'm half hard over this.
Are you juiced up or what?
I'm half hard over it.
Yeah.
So what we like to do is this. We're in Drinkin Bros Sports. We have a 4-team business league for all you businessmen out there. And we have 4 fantasy football leagues for Drinkin Bros. And the first one we have is the Cutthroat Killers League. That's 2 times you must have won. You must have killed 2 different people, and you want a signed O.J. Simpson jersey. All fantasy football signups are on Friday, starting at noon on Drinkin Bros Sports, and you've got to sign up. It's a private Facebook group on Drinkin Bros Sports. So you got to sign up there at noon. We will be starting teams. If you would like to join the Cutthroat Killers League, that, my man, is 2 screenshots. You got to provide 2 screenshots that you won 2 different championships, and first come, first serve. Got to accept that email. Boom, you're in. Again, winner, signed O.J. Simpson jersey. Go gets it. The next one, this is D'Anthony's league. D'Anthony lost last year. Did you make the playoffs last year?
I did, yeah. I lost to, God, what is that dude's name? Brian something? I don't remember his name.
Okay.
But he ended up losing to Jesse.
Kowalski or?
I don't think so.
I think it is.
Korpowski. That's
There it is. Now that this is one of these are all my favorites here. That one you've only had to win 1 championship and screenshot it and send it in. My wife, my brethren, Jesse Wiseman is she's the defending champion. Full disclosure, if you're wondering how she's so amazing at fantasy sports, she was the editor of the show. So all she did was take my picks from the sports show last year and absolutely housed everybody. Mahomes and Tyreek Hill just absolutely slaughtered, and she destroyed the league. This year, the winner gets a signed Jamie Foxx Willie Beeman jersey from any given Sunday. That's the greatest thing of all time. There's a lot of pressure on her to win.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Because I want it. I want it bad.
And if I told you already, if I win that, I'm going to burn it in front of you.
Well, you're not going to, so it doesn't really matter anyways.
We'll see.
But she sleeps in the garage if she doesn't get that. And that's the way things go. It's kind of like Tiger Woods' dad, you know? I teach, therefore you suffer. Yeah. Right? Something like that. I think that there's a proverb in there.
Don't know that that's how it goes.
Nah, I'm pretty sure it is.
But fuck it.
The next one. This is the Kalen Catrone.
Yeah,
I still don't know how to say that guy's name. This is the overrated underdog league who everybody thinks they're awesome at fantasy football, but they're not. This is named after him because he thinks the Notre Dame Fighting Irish is the greatest team ever, and every year they're super fucking overrated and never win. Last year we did this. We had a signed Rudy Rudiger jersey.
Yes.
And I won that. I won the Underdogs League as well. I pretty much, look, the Patterson family won everything last year. And we burned it at the Black Rifle Coffee office. Mm-hmm. This year we got a signed mini helmet. It's about this big. It's about yay big. It's about as big as this Uncle Sam hat here on my desk. And we're going to burn that as well if I win. Now, if someone else wins it besides myself, you have the option to keep it. It looks great on your desk, car dashboard, whatever the fuck you want to do with it. Or you can burn it yourself. Or it's about the size of a little bigger than a softball. You can also smash it easily with a baseball bat. Yep. We did that on purpose. So that way, you and I were watching those gender reveal videos, and we're like, man, let's get a helmet signed by him of that size. So you can smash the shit out of it. If you're a Notre Dame fan, you can keep it, though.
Yeah.
Kalen's in that league. He's going to be the host of that. I'm going to play in it against him. And that way, I have something to look forward to. And fuck Notre Dame. The last one for the Underdogs League. This is also one of my favorites, and I'm hoping to win this one as well. I'm really hoping to win all these goddamn things. Yeah. This is the Ultimate Underdogs League, and the greatest underdog story in sports of all time still to me is Buster Douglas knocking out Mike Tyson. We get a signed pair of boxing shorts from Buster Douglas, that the same ones that he wore the night that he knocked out Mike Tyson. The winner of that league will get those, and then there'll be a rejects league run by somebody else. I'm not going to be in that fucking bullshit league. And then the winner of that gets to jump up into the big boy league, and we already have our big boy winner from last year that's joining the league. So we're all in. All of this starts at noon Eastern time, Friday on Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook. Private group. You get a chance to sign up then and get them dicks hard. Right now, we're going to sign up for a mock draft for a 12-team PPR. What are you looking at, Dan? You look a little confused.
I need
here.
the link for this, Jamie.
Yeah. Jamie, we need some links out here. We're going live, brother. And you're fucking around. So we're going to do this live on air. We're going to draft. The beauty of this is Dan and I have not chatted about our drafts. And we did this on purpose, so that way it's live and organic. And if you're a diehard fantasy football junkie like myself or D'Anthony, this is the best way to do it, is to do a mock draft against strangers. I didn't want to do it against Drinkin Bros. I wanted to do it against complete fucking strangers.
Yeah.
Why? People are going to auto draft the same as every league at home, right? We'll go to one on me, on the big dog here. People are going to auto draft for real. In your leagues at home, it's going to piss you off to no end. People did it in our leagues last year. This year, if you auto draft, we're actually giving your teams away. So don't even fucking bother with it. But we realize everybody else at home is in an office league or a family league or an old school bros from college league. This way, this will get you accustomed to what you're going to be up against, because let's face it, you can't stop the auto drafters. You're going to get some asshole who's like, my daughter had a dance recital and then I had to make lasagna if no fucking neighbor. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, we don't care about
Billy,
that.
I don't give a baker's fuck about your daughter or what you were saying about the lasagna, dude. You don't fucking auto draft. You know what days the fucking draft are. Ours are going to be, I believe, on the 26th and 27th. So you can take that bullshit somewhere else, Billy. You fuck. We don't need auto drafters, but you're going to get them. And so this way, this is going to help you prepare for that, because somebody's going to sneak up and take your pick, or you can pre-plan ahead because you can see the auto draft up there and then bump it down and be like, all right, rad. And that's kind of the beauty of this. The other reason why we do this with complete strangers on ESPN.com, and again, this is a 12-team PPR standard mock draft snake. 1 through 12, boom, snake, pick back around. We don't know our picks. We don't know the people we're up against. That way, it's totally organic and live, because let's face it, you go into the draft every year with your team, right? And you're expecting, oh man, I'm going to get Mahomes, or I'm going to get fucking Aaron Rodgers because I'm a homer. Or even in our league, fuck, one of those underdogs leagues, somebody picked Dak Prescott last year with the 4th pick, which was awful. That's going to happen. To not only us, but to you guys out at home. It's going to happen in this mock draft today. That way, again, every live pick as it's going down, you'll be able to see it on YouTube. Plug in with us right now on Drinkin Bros Sports Companion, and go from there. And I'll also be reading them off for the audio show. And that's for the video show. So before we hop into that, we got some sponsors who pay for this whole shit wagon to be on the air. First and foremost, talking about mybookie.com/Drinkin Bros. I believe that link will be available next week. Have you heard otherwise, or is it the week after?
It's sometime soon. It'll be before the season starts, for sure.
Because I know we're doing a college football kickoff show next week. That's going to be a fucking blast.
Yep.
And then we're going to start making picks. Also this year on mybookie.com, since they re-upped with us, I'm going to put because we were 73.4% winners last year. I'm going to put my actual picks, because we gamble on all this shit every week. So I'm going to put my actual picks live up on air. As we make them, boom, I'm going to fucking go to mybookie.com. I'm going to I'm gonna bet and then show you the pay stub, so at least you know what you're doing.
Yep.
When timestamps, when I did it, why, what the spreads are, because spreads change all the way up until the game. The reason why we do the sports show in advance is so that way you can maybe get a better spread than you might have on that Saturday or Sunday. As always, watch out for injuries, but go to mybookie.com/Drinkin Bros starting next week. And it'll double your deposit from $100 all the way to $3,000. This year, they're also doing a huge tournament where you throw in $100 at the end of the year.
Yep.
You pick five fucking spreads during the NFL every single weekend, and at the end of it, what do you get? Like $100,000?
The winner gets $100,000, and then there's $50,000 split amongst the rest of the winners. Yeah, there's a lot of money on the line. We're gonna be playing against you, bitches. So.
Yes, we're gonna play against you guys, and we're gonna do that every single week. So at least you know our top 5 spreads per week. And this will also help you at home when you're gambling, son. Gambling. Super amped that we're doing that with them. Shout out to my bookie for signing us up again. Next up, ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Nothing better than being hungover in a ghost bed on a Sunday, watching NFL, on a Saturday, watching college football. The time is almost upon us. If you have a shitty mattress, now's the time to get rid of it. Fall season is when you're drinking the most and you're fucking the most. Let's face it, you start going early for some of these nooner games, right? These 1 p.m. games on Sunday. Then you start going out to the bars and you're fucking by like 4 or 5 because you're deep, dude.
And it's ass eating season October 1st too, so you want to be prepared for that.
Yes.
Like you want to break that bed in before ass eating
100%.
season starts. You don't want to fucking be eating ass on a fucking brand new bed or a shitty bed.
Yeah. You don't want any of that. So go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. Get a mattress if you're military or first responder. 15% off forever on all of their items. Mattresses, ghost pillows. Get the cover, man. The cover will actually, look, if you have an ass-eating season, let's say homegirl had Mexican, and she's got a blowout, I'm talking, apple milkshake, all over the bed. That'll protect that mattress so you don't get a little mud butt on there.
Yeah, a little mud butt. Look, you can buy... if you have health insurance, you'll be good with the dysentery. They'll take care of you, but you don't want to have to buy a new mattress.
Yeah, look, you don't want Obamacare trying to pick.
No, because that copay is going to be what, $400 or $500. New mattress is going to be at least $700-800.
Yikes! Let her deal with her own prolapsed anus. Go to ghostbed.com. They love our reads.
Yeah, they send us an email every morning like, hey, thanks, guys, for making us look like a bunch of assholes.
Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. Get yourself a mattress. If you're a regular civilian like myself, the deals they have are phenomenal. $200 off a Ghost Lux mattress, $100 off the Classic, and free pillows with a mattress. And the pillows are almost as good as the goddamn mattress.
Yeah, the pillows are great.
As always, at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros, 36-month pay-as-you-go program. No one is offering that on the interwebs at all. I don't even know if they do a credit check, to be real.
Who knows?
Who knows? They're doing it right, doing it tight. And you can keep that butthole right at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Last but not least, Anthony, blackriflecoffee.com. Before I swing it to you, I want to tell you that somebody bought the board shorts and posted them.
I saw them. Yeah, they're fucking great.
Dude. Are those available to the public yet?
No, they're only on the Coffee Club, and that brings us to our transition. Jamie, go ahead and put my desktop up there.
Yeah. I like this live format on YouTube. Yeah. So we're able to do everything.
Make it there you go. Yeah. So this is the Coffee Club webpage.
Okay.
Right? Like only people who are members can see this, and there's a bunch of different shit. I'm not going to scroll down too much because there's some private information on here, but this is an example of one of the giveaways, right? So they gave away a whole fucking cold brew kit.
Yeah, that cold brew summer. That's nice.
Yeah, so there's going to be another giveaway coming up soon.
Okay.
And you have to, and it includes a book written by this dude we know.
Oh, you're talking about Matt Best. Thank you for my service.
Maybe. It could be him, yeah. And then it's going to be a collection of all of his favorite swag from Black Rifle, his favorite fucking shirts and hats and all that bullshit.
That's great.
And coffee making equipment, the whole shit.
I believe I wrote that book as well. So looking forward to that.
Looking forward to that. So that'll be the case. But the way these things work, because it's not a sweepstakes, is you have to be a Coffee Club member already. So go to the Coffee Club right now. Sign up. Use Drinkin Bros 20 for your code. Go ahead and start your Coffee Club. As long as you're in there before, I think, August 4th, then you're good.
You're good to go.
So you've got a couple days from now to go ahead and get set in there.
Those board shorts are fucking amazing, dude.
They're great. And
big fan.
You don't get access to any of this shit unless Yeah, see, there's the board shorts right there.
Ah, nice. Right left. On your screen. Look at that. How much are those board shorts going for right now?
They are $49.30.
Fuck you, dude. I'm going to buy those after the show. Because you get, with the promo code SummerDog, you get 20% off. So what are they? Dude, that's $40 for those fucking shorts.
You can use SummerDog. You can use Drinkin Bros 20. Any of these.
Yes.
Yep. So
Revolution all of it. I'm taking 20% off this fucking board shorts as soon as we get off air.
So go ahead and make sure you're signed up before August 4th. Take advantage of the club. It's the best goddamn subscription service you'll ever have anyways.
It is.
So get that taken care of. And then there's some other stuff that we'll read off later. I can't show you on screen because it's private information, but we'll talk about it on another show.
Yeah, it's private.
All right, out of here. Boom.
Your dick is public.
And just in time for the draft to start. Look at there.
I'm not in there. I don't believe.
You didn't get into this one?
No, I didn't. I couldn't get in.
You stupid fuck.
Well, you'll have to go to a new one, and that's what I love about this. Let's go to.
There's one every 5 minutes.
Yeah, there's one every 5 minutes, so that's fine. Which PPR would you like to go to? We do all of our fantasy sports with ESPN.com. I'm not saying it's the fucking greatest, but it's the easiest one to use for free at home. We've been using them for what, 3 or 4 years now?
Yeah.
On Drinkin Bros Sports?
Arizona. Oh, that's not a PPR, though. God damn it.
No, it's not a PPR, brother. Seattle's got ones. No, that's not 10.
No, there's
Seattle
a 12
12.
team.
Yeah, you want to do that one?
Yep.
All right, let's do that one. Let's do the old Seattle. I wonder if it's a bunch of fucking liberals in this goddamn thing.
They're all Antifa.
Fucking
Do you think Antifa plays fantasy football?
You'll know if they do if every team name is Elizabeth Warren. Yeah. You know, where you're just like, looks like the Antifa's in here. All right, so D'Anthony, let's start with here. Who's your top player in the draft if you get the one pick? And again, this is the beauty of a mock draft. We don't know what picks we're going to get either. Right. Same as everybody at home. In Drinkin Bros, it's different. If you won the league, you automatically get the first pick the next year, and that's kind of a fun thing for you. But for me, my favorite pick is in the 11-12 region. If I had it, the swamp picks are 6 through 9. You don't want 6 through 9. That's a fucking bitch every year. Because that turnaround time, you're waiting the exact same time every single time. Yep. If you're in that one hole, who are you going with the first pick in the draft?
Honestly, just based on historical performance and the situation on his team, I would have to say Christian McCaffrey probably.
I like that.
Because I'm going to avoid Le'Veon Bell. I've looked into his stats before, not to give up too much of my fucking hard work, but I guess that's why you're here. So every time Le'Veon Bell, every time he sits out for an extended period of time, he comes back and he's got a 4 to 5 game stretch that he's just not that great.
Right.
Now, if you're going to draft heavy up top and you want to rely on him later, because he's going to be playing in meaningful games later in the year.
Correct.
He's not going to be sitting out because the Jets are so good.
We're expecting the Jets to be good. We're going to do
they'll be good,
NFL
but they're not going to
show.
be so far ahead of their division that they're sitting guys out.
Correct.
The end of the
yeah.
That's what I mean.
They'll be playing all year because
that's what I mean,
they're in New England's division.
Yeah.
So
if you can hang on for a couple of weeks, like he's definitely going to play. You can never, you don't know what's going to happen with injuries and shit like that. But he's definitely going to be playing, and by week 4 or 5, somewhere around there, he's going to start fucking killing it probably because he's Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
So if you can hold on for a couple of weeks, you think you've got a good enough team to fucking do that, or you think you have a good enough strategy, I would draft him number 1.
The hilarious thing to me is that before we went on the air, you were like, man, you were debating about whether or not to give the audience real fucking picks or not.
I know.
Dirtbag. I am, because I look at it this way. I'm this great at fantasy football that it doesn't really fucking matter if you know all my secrets, because I've always got plans A through fucking Z, Dan. I don't care if I'm first or 12th. Would I prefer 12? Yes, I would. Or 11? You bet. But I had 7 last year, and fuck, man, I think 3 of these goddamn things, and I won all of them. I won 4 out of 5 leagues. The only league I lost in was because Gurley got hurt in the fucking championship, or else I would have housed Josh McClurg by about 50 fucking points. But look, injuries are going to happen. That's why you need to draft deep. If I'm at 1, me personally, I go running back and I go Alvin Kamara. He doesn't have Mark Ingram anymore to contend with.
Yeah.
I think Drew Brees, look, in my opinion, I think if that fucking bullshit call or miscall doesn't happen, I think not only do the Saints go to the Super Bowl, I think the Saints win the Super Bowl because I thought New England looked like shit last year, and we were there.
Nobody looked good in that Super Bowl.
No one looked good, and I think the Saints would have won. Alvin Kamara, to me, is one of the sexiest players on the planet because that guy can run through a fucking goddamn wall, or he can catch 80 balls out of the backfield. I think he's going to have a monster year.
Definitely.
The only reason I put him over McCaffrey is simply because of how much better the Saints are than the Carolina Panthers.
Hey, Jamie, this live feed is unlisted right now.
Yeah, you got to pop it up, brother.
It only works with a direct link. So let's.
Sure. Well, whatever. Jamie. Come on, we had hashtag fire Dave. Don't make us have a hashtag fire Jamie this year. But no, I go Kamara first. I like McCaffrey. I like Le'Veon Bell. But I'm definitely going running back first. Here's my prediction of what's going to happen in a lot of people's fantasy football leagues this year. I think Mahomes, people are going to reach for Mahomes and go first round for Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, probably.
That's my guess. Because of the year he had last year, I think people are going to reach for Mahomes and go early with him. I think he deserves to be the first quarterback taken in the draft. Me personally, I do not go quarterback through the first 3 rounds at least.
Right.
Maybe if he's sitting there at the end of 4, sure. But there's a lot of great quarterbacks. And you can fill, if you're in a 12-man league, like most everybody is, you can fill up 1 through 12 and have a great option.
Here's what I think you should do. If you did a draft last year, go look at the log for the draft and look at what quarterbacks were left between rounds 10 and 16.
Okay.
Just go look.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be some surprising names on there.
Oh, really surprising.
And the difference between those and the quarterbacks 3 through 10 aren't big enough to start drafting quarterbacks that early, in my opinion.
I did a mock draft maybe 2 or 3 days ago. Tom Brady went in round 10.
Yeah.
Never seen anything like it. Round 10 for Brady, which was unbelievable. To me, there's going to be a bunch of great quarterbacks left. Garoppolo is going to be healthy this year. Dak Prescott went in the last round this year. And look, say what you will about the Cowboys and Dak Prescott's, but for him to be sitting there in the last round, that's a fucking bargain to me.
Yeah.
That's an absolute bargain.
It really is.
Jamie, you were able to get that to go public? Oh, brother. What about you, Alec? We got 2 producers here, and no one can click the public
2 producers,
button.
0 results.
0 results out of that. And that's what he loved to do about fucking public live feeds. You can watch Dan staring intently in the camera, or you can just pop this onto 1, Jamie. Pop it onto 1, and Dan can roll back there with you, and have this be listed, brother. Because right now we're just doing the video show for ourselves.
No, we got people in the chat.
Yeah,
because they clicked the direct link, Jamie. Come on.
Yeah, you gotta go public, brother. Gotta go public with it. We got 6 minutes here. Who's some of your sleepers this year?
Some of my sleepers are Royce Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
Think he's going to have a big year.
Behind Phillip Lindsay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think I don't think Lindsay's going to last the whole year. And I think
he's a little guy, man. Yeah. He's got a lot of heart.
He's got a lot of heart, but heart doesn't stop you from getting your fucking teeth smashed in, right?
Heart doesn't stop balls, brother.
No. And let's see. Anthony Miller, I think, is going to have a good year. I'm a huge fan.
Anthony Miller, huh?
Yeah.
What about Lamar?
Yeah. I don't think that's a sleeper, though. Everybody pretty much expects him to have a great year.
I don't think Lamar Miller is that great.
I think he's a third running back, probably 5th or 6th round, something like that.
Yeah.
That's where I would draft him if I was going to.
Me personally, I think Kerryon Johnson this year.
Yeah, Kerryon Johnson. I think
is one of my fucking favorites. Detroit just cut Theo Riddick. I'm really, really high on Kerryon Johnson this year, and to me, because running backs are the thinnest in this draft, right? And that's why everybody in all the mock drafts I've done, running backs are going 1 through 12 really, really fucking quick. So there it is. Jamie's live on video. Finally.
Go ahead and put us back on the twos.
Yeah.
So
put us back on the onesie twosies. But Kerryon Johnson, that's who I'm looking in the third to fourth round.
Yep.
I'm also really big on that Alabama kid, Josh Jacobs, for the Raiders.
Yeah, I think Josh Jacobs might have a good year. I mean, we don't know how
there's a rookie running back every year that ends up lighting it up. Yeah. And let's face it, the Raiders need a fucking running back. Marshawn Lynch retired. He's out of there. How do you feel about the Raiders as a whole?
I give him a year because we don't really know. Like, he's got to install an entire system there, and then they have to work on it, see what the kinks are, and then reset, and then probably go out and get some other players to fill the holes they need. It's going to be a year. But it'll be an exciting-ass year, I think.
I think so, too. And I'm not as down on Carr as everybody else is.
Yeah, I'm not either.
2 years ago, I mean, he was lighting it up. He was a Pro Bowler.
He was doing well, and they took away all of his fucking weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he had a goddamn bad season. Like, his season ended in 2017 with an injury. It wasn't because he wasn't hurt. Great.
And he had a lights-out year at that point. Now with Antonio Brown in the mix, and I like this running back, we're good. I think the Raiders, here's my surprise pick this year. I think the Raiders might be a wild card team. I really believe that.
Maybe, yeah.
There's
a good chance of that.
That's my surprise pick this year.
I don't think the AFC is all that strong.
No, the NFC is really, really fucking strong this year.
Yeah.
You got a ton of teams, and look, I know this is going to be a homer thing to say, right? And we're going to get to this when we do the NFL picks. But to me, I think if the Falcons can stay healthy, they could fucking devastate this year.
I agree.
I just
Julio
saw
Jones and Matt Ryan.
And Julio's going to sit out all of preseason, he said.
Good.
Because I don't think he needs to play. He needs to be healthy for the year. If the Falcons can stay healthy, they're going to be a great team. Saints are going to be a great team. I think the Rams are going to be a great team. I think Philadelphia is a great team.
Yep.
I think Chicago is a great team. To me, you look at that whole NFC North with Chicago, Green Bay, and I think the Vikings are going to have a big year as well. And I don't sleep on the Lions, man. With TJ, with that Hawkinson kid, and Kerryon Johnson, Matt Stafford to me has got all the tools.
He's just so inconsistent. You don't know which Matt Stafford you're going to get. Man.
No, you don't. So,
but that's a good one. Yeah, I mean, I think,
and I love those receivers there. I like Kenny Golladay, and I like Marvin Jones Jr. I think Marvin Jones Jr. can have a bounce back year. He had an off year last year when the year before he was a breakout star.
Yep.
It was almost 50-50 deep balls. He just didn't get them last year, and I think this year with a better running game, a better tight end, that's going to take a little bit more heat off of him, and I think he could set the world on fire. Matthew Stafford, I think, is worth a late flyer in these leagues. Let me ask you this. Do you go 2 quarterbacks in this league?
No.
You don't, huh?
No, and I'll tell you why. Like, a lot of people do it if they think there's going to be a lot of movement in the first couple of weeks of the season, a lot of free agency or trades, because you can use it as a bargaining chip. Mm-hmm. But like I said before, go back and look at your logs historically of the past drafts that you've been in and see all the quarterbacks that were left in rounds 10 through 16, and then the quarterbacks that were left completely and weren't drafted at all.
Yeah. There's a lot.
There's too much going on there to waste. I actually looked at some metrics. This guy has put together the last 10 years of fantasy football scores, basically by week or by draft position. So 1 through 16, and efficiencies per position. So what's the most efficient like football position you can draft and the number 1 pick, and it's wide receiver and running back. Period. And then there's steep declines. But quarterback peaks at like 3-4, and then again at 10. That's where the quarterbacks are taking rounds 3 and 4, and then round 10. So it's data. I'm a fucking nerd, man.
Yeah, you are. You are. Me, I go all heart. I'm all dick and balls. I'm all brethren on this. And me personally, I always draft a backup quarterback. If there's a great one there, I take it. If not, I leave it alone. But I've had too many quarterback injuries that has completely fucked my fantasy football year.
Yeah.
And I don't. If you have a shitty quarterback, that's it, dude. You cannot recover from that. Because you can even recover from like streaming running backs. I don't think you can recover from a shitty quarterback. And again, that's why I beat everybody on the planet last year. Was Mahomes iced everybody.
Yeah.
He did slow down during the championship games, and I don't know what's going to happen with him, because, is it going to be the Baker Mayfield sitch now that people have, tape on them? What's going to happen with these guys this year? I don't know. Or later in the year, did they have tape on him? But
Look,
when we saw him at the Patriots, he was back for that second half, and he looked lights out.
Yeah. If Baker Mayfield doesn't, by the way, have a monster fantasy season, it's only his fault.
Yeah.
Because he has got all the weapons that anyone could ever have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're getting ready to start here. Whew, the nerves are setting in.
Are they? By the way, one last sleeper, Zay Jones.
Mm-hmm. For the Buffalo Bills?
Yeah.
Look, Zay Jones, you can draft him at your own risk. I want you to look up what happened to Zay Jones the last offseason. Mm-hmm. He ran through a hotel lobby glass door, buck naked. That is completely entirely buck naked.
Was he on drugs?
It had to have been bath salts. There's video footage of it, and his brother drug him out of there.
I'm fine with that.
So the draft just started here. Our mock draft just started. Motherfucker, man. I got pick 6. Who did you get?
Let's see. I'm 7.
You're 7.
Right in the middle of the butt cheeks.
Man. Look, we said before we went on air, man, 6 through 9 that's called the swamp.
Yep.
So you're in the fucking swamp of it there. And that's tough, man, because me personally, I am dead in the middle. That means I've got to wait 12 picks for every single thing. If you're 6 through 9, you've got to have almost a perfect draft.
Yep.
An almost perfect draft to survive. Now, for the people at home, if you're in the 6 to 7, because this happens to a lot of people every year, and I'm actually glad this happened to us in this mock draft, is you're hoping that one of these 1 through 5 picks, me personally, because I'm 6,
is an idiot
and goes homer and picks somebody overreaches, picks a fucking quarterback or
we don't know what's going to happen here because these are all strangers. Like, we have no idea what these people are like. We've actually been launching investigations into all you dickholes.
Yeah.
Doing background checks. No. But
yes.
we know one of you dummies is going to draft Baker Mayfield in the first or second round.
I like it and I appreciate it. And for anybody else who's in an ESPN league, they also rank your players by best all the way around. You can go by position or you can go all the way around. I go all the way around just because I'm curious to see. They've got Saquon Barkley ranked number 1 in ESPN leagues. I don't agree with that. That team, I think he's great, and I think could be the running back of the future. That team is so fucking terrible that I worry about injury.
Yeah.
I also worry
for sure.
I also worry about them shutting him down at the end of the year during the playoffs. Therefore, I don't go Saquon Barkley, although I love him. He's a great player. He's just on a shitty team.
Well, what about Zeke?
Zeke is ranked number 2 in this draft.
But he's on
a plane to Cabo right now.
Yeah.
And that's dead serious.
Yeah.
He's holding out right now. Right before we got on air, ESPN had him getting on a flight to Cabo. Showed him getting on a flight to Cabo. He's phenomenal. He went to Ohio State, so obviously I love him and I know everything about him. He's a fucking asshole, who is a baby, to be honest with you. Great NFL player. If you could just nuke out his personality, it'd be fucking the dream running back would be Zeke Elliott.
I'm talking some shit in the draft chat.
Yeah, you should.
Do you hear that sound? It makes my dick hard,
dude. Whenever I hear that, I get dick hard. They got McCaffrey at 3. They got Kamara at 4.
I think
Le'Veon
that's
Bell
about
at
right.
5. Melvin Gordon at 6. Unless they know something we don't know about Melvin Gordon, I think he's going to sit out the entire season.
I agree.
Unless he gets a new deal.
I don't think he's going to get a new deal from the Chargers, and I think he's going to sit out the whole year.
And he's also friends with Le'Veon Bell, and there was some video of him last year talking about what he thought was going to happen with Le'Veon Bell. And look, he said, personally, man, I love that he's sitting out the whole year. Melvin Gordon's 26. He's right around the same age Le'Veon Bell was when he was sitting out. Yeah. So he's got one more huge contract left. I actually don't blame him. It appears to have worked out for Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
So far.
You can't. I don't know if you guys can see it on the small screen there at home, but
I'll read off the first 2 picks. So Saquon Barkley did go number 1 in this draft, in this mock draft.
Yep.
And look, God bless you. That's fine and all. But I wouldn't do it. McCaffrey went 2 in this draft. You love him. Number 2 is not bad. I still go Kamara 1 if I had the first
pick. The only
pick.
problem with McCaffrey is that there aren't more, and usually this isn't the case. Usually there are too many weapons on a team. Like, for example, with God damn it, with Jarvis Landry. Now there's so much competition for ball time.
He's a 5th or 6th round pick to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
At 4th at the fucking earliest.
Or at the earliest. Another one that I don't agree with on ESPN's ranking system.
Devontae Adams?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Number 1 wide receiver, Devontae Adams. To me, man, I go Michael Thomas, Julio Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, OBJ. Like, there's a bunch of people I go before Devontae Adams. I don't know what they were thinking with that one this year. Because
I don't either.
Aaron Rodgers likes to spread the ball around. He's not a one receiver guy.
There's some guy
he does every year.
Shit. Cortland Young. He's not.
We don't know who he is.
He's a stranger, but he says if you take Kelsey in the first round, you're a chump.
You're a chump. That's.
I did like 90 mock drafts yesterday, and almost every single one of them took Kelsey in the first round.
I get it. If he's there at the end of the first, tight ends are so fucking thin this year. There's about three elite tight ends.
Yeah.
Right. I'd say Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
And no. I'm not taking fucking Ingram. I'm not taking anybody from the Giants. Every year there's teams that I avoid. The Giants is my team that I avoid this year.
Zeke went 3rd.
Yeah, Zeke went 3rd, and that's fine. I understand that, and I like it.
I think that's
Jerry
a risky
Jones.
pick.
I think Jerry Jones backs up the truck and pays him. They've got a good team this year. And
he's never been afraid to look. Here's the deal.
He's never been afraid to spend.
They're not going to be able to make a trade, so the options for the Cowboys are sign him or not have a good team this year.
Right.
Like, those are the only options. So I think they're going to sign him too.
And right now, Kamara's still on the board here. And at 4, that is insanity, pure insanity to me. And look, if he fell to me at 6, it'd be a fucking gift. Him or Le'Veon Bell would be a fucking gift. My nightmare would be that both of these guys get drafted right before me, and then I've got to make a decision on a wide receiver. Because I'm not going Gurley, and Gurley's ranked pretty low in these drafts right now. He's about the 12th best player on the board here in this drafts, and I agree with that because I don't know what's going to happen with his knee.
I've been seeing him go
in the second round.
In the second, maybe a 3rd or halfway through the second round. A lot of the mock drafts I've done.
If he's there at the end of the second, I'll take him, but I don't risk that. I don't risk taking him in the first round, and I don't risk if it's a back-to-back sitch.
Yeah.
I just don't.
No, there's no. I mean, look.
Honestly, who are you sexting with over there?
I'm looking shit up there, buddy.
Nah,
doing my homework.
Shut it down. It should be all in your mind.
No,
that's how great I am. Dan, I don't.
Well,
I don't see you doing it this year.
We'll see.
I don't see you winning again this year.
Alvin Kamara's off the board.
Kamara is off the board.
And Melvin Gordon. Who the fuck took Melvin Gordon?
Oh, boy. That is a homer pick, and I'm glad. So, and this is what we were talking about. There's a perfect example of, I hope, if I'm in the 6 hole, that somebody fucks up and does something stupid like this. Then I can get someone great.
Yeah.
Now it's 6, dude. It's a no-brainer that I'm taking Le'Veon Bell.
Yep.
Boom.
And I'm up next. So my options for me, I skip Hopkins and Adams.
Yeah, because right now in ESPN's draft, they got Adams right now as the 7th guy.
Yeah,
and
I'm not about that. I think Thomas and Julio Jones are the guys. I'm gonna go with Thomas on this one because I think that Drew Brees is pissed off. Is gonna have a crazy year this year. Mm-hmm. But I also think Matt Ryan's gonna have a great year. Julio Jones is not a bad person to pick right here.
Either one of those, I think, is a great pick there. Also, I don't mind DeAndre Hopkins as well. That dude puts up monster numbers every year.
He does. I just, you don't know when Watson's finally going to click. And like, if he ever clicks and becomes the quarterback that we think he can be, holy shit.
But he's another one who went through the sophomore slump once people had footage on him. This is his 3rd year, so maybe he's going to be better.
Yep.
And if you're wondering out there who I would have taken running back wise if I was going to go running back, I'd actually go James Conner.
Oh yeah.
I think James Conner's going to have a monster year. I think that's another sleeper is him and the Pittsburgh Steelers, man.
Yep. So David Johnson and Hopkins are now off the board.
So for me, look, David Johnson's ranked ahead of them, and I get it, but I don't know how great the Arizona Cardinals are going to be again, or ever again.
I mean, they're going to be running the ball
because they were awful last year. They're going to be running the ball a lot. Kyler Murray is not an NFL quarterback to me. Should you throw a flyer at him at quarterback in the last round? Maybe,
I would.
Because of his running yards.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this. He's probably going to
yards.
have a good first season because nobody's got tape on him yet.
Or he's gonna run up. He's gonna run for 150 yards a game.
Either way. See. Like, I think he's going to have a good season this year, and it's going to be a fucking it's going to be a red herring. Basically, he's going to have terrible years after that.
We'll see. Michael Thomas went to D'Anthony. David Johnson went after that. DeAndre Hopkins after that. Then Devontae Adams. I like that. Like this is what I would have done wide receiver wise. I understand all of these moves. The only reach thus far in the first round, because we're at the end of the first, was that reach on Melvin Gordon, man.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't either.
But I mean, who knows?
Look, if he comes back, congratulations.
Maybe
I just don't think he's coming back, and I don't think the Chargers are going to pay him because he's injured because he's a smaller guy, man.
Yeah.
God bless him though. He runs like a fucking freight train.
It could be whoever. I mean, like a lot of people turn these on and just set auto draft just to see what the results are, so they can go back and look at all the results.
Oh yeah.
So I don't. I mean, you never know if somebody's going to do.
No,
something
that guy
like
was
that.
not an auto draft.
Oh, I know.
That was a quick pick.
Oh, some other people just they like intentionally fuck up the draft to see how everybody else will react, because they expect in their draft somebody's going to do something stupid like that. Like there's a lot of I've been watching YouTube videos the last couple of days. There's a lot of strategy behind doing your mock drafts.
Yeah.
So if you're going on here and doing these things, do some serious ones. Draft how you would normally draft, but also fuck shit up a little bit and just see what the result. You all right over there?
Yeah, spit a little water all over myself. I get anxious. I get anxious when Julio Jones went off the board. You know I'm a Falcons fan, and
Gurley went 12.
Gurley went 12. I understand it. I understand it because you're starting to get thin on running backs here. James Conner is still available, and that's amazing. But how do you pass up on Gurley? That's a tough one for me.
It is, yeah. I mean, I would,
because this is the 12th pick. That was the last pick in the 12th round. Now he's going to get that turnaround pick.
Yeah.
At 13. So here's when you can start to stack a team. That's why I love these 11 and 12 picks, man. You get these back-to-backs. I mean, He's got Gurley and Beckham. So he went Beckham after that. He went bang, bang.
Yeah, that's a good
Gurley and Beckham. That's a great start to your draft. Travis Kelce, there he went. Second pick in the second round. Every mock draft I've seen, he's going beginning in the second or end of the first.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. Best in the business in this draft. I'm a little scared to go tight end though with my first round pick. That's not enough for me.
No, it's not enough. I mean,
it's not enough points for me. Travis Kelce's a different beast, obviously, and he's got Mahomes throwing to him. But, there goes James Conner off the board.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon after him. Look, Mixon's probably going to have a fine year. Depends on, who he's dating at the time and whether or not he's going to knock her out.
Wow, Dalvin Cook ahead of Tyreek Hill.
Dalvin Cook is one of my sleepers this year.
He's going to have a good year for sure. I'm here now, and I've got Michael Thomas already, and I'm going to take Tyreek Hill.
Ooh, that is monstrous.
That is quite the sitch I've got now. Now I've got to go back and make up with running backs though, but there's still going to be running backs left.
There's still going to be running backs left. Right now I'm on the board because you took
Tyreek Hill.
You took Tyreek Hill, which look, Tyreek Hill's going to have a monster year.
Yep.
He got a bruised quad today. He's probably going to sit out all of preseason,
which is great for me.
So it says best available on this board right now is Antonio Brown, Juju, Keenan Allen,
Mike Evans,
all these guys going down. Right now, I got to go chalk here on this one with Antonio Brown sitting there, just based on his greatness in Pittsburgh all of these years.
And they're also going to have to rely on him a little bit too.
A lot. So I'm gonna, and look, he's the superstar you traded for.
Yep.
I'm gonna go Antonio Brown right here.
But there's some other good picks there. Like if you really wanted to go running back, I think Fournette's going to have a good year this year. They have an interesting team.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy to see how it turns out in Jacksonville this year.
Nick Foles as your quarterback.
Because we've never seen him for 16 games.
Fournette came in. He was out of shape last year. He got hurt. He was fucking lazy, and he was an asshole on the sidelines.
Yeah.
I shy away from him, but I'm with you. I think he has a big year. And, if he's there towards the end of the second, beginning of third, you'd be an asshole not to pick Fournette. And I'm fine with that. Reading off the next picks, Juju Smith-Schuster went after Antonio Brown. Keenan Allen went after that. Mike Evans, and then Leonard Fournette. Boom.
Yeah. And I think, and now it's up top players on the board right now. T.Y. Hilton, Amari Cooper. I would take either one of those guys. And
I'd go T.Y. Hilton over Amari Cooper because I think Andrew Luck's going to have a big year this year.
I think, yeah.
And I love Amari Cooper.
He's more accurate than Dak, though.
Correct.
Like he just is.
I love Amari Cooper. I think he's great, but he doesn't have Andrew Luck there. Therefore, I would pick him ahead. And if you're following along at home, Leonard Fournette was the end of the second round. Beginning of the third, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb could have a great year. I don't know what's going to happen when Kareem Hunt comes back.
Yeah, or if, what's his nuts, Jones.
But I had Nick Chubb. He was a waiver wire pickup for me last year in 3 of my leagues, and he absolutely dominated.
He destroyed it,
second pick in the third round, Zach Ertz. So now 2 of the top 3 tight ends are gone at this point. And then T.Y. Hilton went after that. I agree with that pick. That's great for the third pick in the third round.
That's a homer pick right there. Josh Jacobs and Amari Cooper. Or I'm sorry, Josh Jacobs got taken ahead of Devonta Freeman.
Yes, and Amari Cooper. But look, Devonta Freeman has been injured.
He has, but he's not right now.
He hasn't looked great for the last, even though the last half of the season before, he didn't look that great. Josh Jacobs is a huge sleeper for me this year.
Yeah.
And this is where he should be going in fantasy football drafts right now. So Amari Cooper was after that, and that's round 3, pick 4. And then your boy, Brandon Cooks.
Yep.
Which is great.
I think he's going to have a good year. I think it's a little high for him.
Yeah,
he's a 4th or 5th round guy.
Yeah, but that's, he's going to have a monster year, I think, man. He's one of those guys who everybody sleeps on him every single year, and all he does is fucking deliver. So we'll see. Right now, I'm on the clock, and since the top, look, I hate to do this, but since the top 2 tight ends are gone, Ertz and Kelsey.
This is your last chance to get one.
This is your chance, and it's George Kittle. George Kittle's the third best tight end in this draft. But he had a monster year for me last year.
Yeah, he was great.
And I'm taking him this year, especially with Garoppolo back. So I'm going to take him in the third round because that's after that, that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
As far as top-tiered tight ends that are producing like wide receivers. Those are the 3 for me.
Yeah. So I'm up now, and look, I've got 2 wide receivers right now. There's no great tight ends on the board. So I'm looking at running backs right now. Devonta Freeman, like you said, has had some injury problems. I actually had Derrick Henry on my list.
Before you make this pick, let me ask you this here. Because I did this in a few leagues last year. Mm-hmm. Is there any thought to you going 3 great wide receivers? Because Adam Thielen's still on the board here, and so is Julian Edelman. Is there any thought to going 3 massive wide receivers and saying, fuck it?
There is, because you can rock that flex all year.
All year long, dude. And
once you get past this next level of running back, I think the disparity between running backs in the second and third and fourth rounds are bigger than the wide receivers in the 3rd and 5th round.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So who are you going with?
So I'm going with Derrick Henry right here. I think
gotcha.
Mariota can't throw the ball. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a fucking great year. So there we go.
I don't mind the pick, and he's the only guy there this year, right?
Yeah.
No. That's it. And he's gonna get a lot of touches out of that backfield. He looked great at the end of the year last year. He was a waiver wire pickup for me in the playoffs, and fuck, man, what do you have? 200 yards and 2 out of the last 3 games. I mean, it was monstrous, absolutely fucking monstrous. So Devonta Freeman went off the board after Derrick Henry. Again, this is round 3, pick 8 in this mock draft on ESPN. I understand Devonta Freeman. Me personally, I'd probably go up and draft Kerryon Johnson over Devonta Freeman at this point.
Yeah, I don't know what that guy's board looked like, who he already had.
I don't either, but Marlon Mack is there too, and a lot of people are projecting him to have a big year. A lot of people are high on the Colts this year.
I think the Colts are going to have a good season.
So do I. So if Luck can stay healthy with T.Y. Hilton and Marlon Mack and those guys, man, it could be a sexy year in Indianapolis.
Yeah, for sure.
Right after that, Julian Edelman finally went off the board at pick 9 in round 3. Damian Williams, another one who I think is going to have a great year. He looked fantastic last year after Kareem Hunt got kicked off the team for kicking someone else.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Well,
real nice.
She may have had it coming. I mean, she allegedly called him the N-word, I think.
Well, I wasn't there. Adam Thielen went after Damian Williams at pick 11 in the 3rd, followed by Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones I think could be a great running back. Green Bay will never fucking hand off the ball to find out. So I don't know what's going to happen with him.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, if he can catch passes in the flat, then he's going to fucking score you some points this year. Because there's no better quarterback on earth.
Right after that, Robert Woods, great wide receiver for the Rams. AJ Green, who is out 6 to 8 weeks with a torn ankle ligament and is going to miss week 1. So remember that. And then finally, at the end of the 4th round, Pat Mahomes went off the board as the first quarterback taken. Top of the 4th.
Yeah, and I've got so my lineup so far, I got Derrick Henry, Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill. Marlon Mack is sitting up at the top of this draft. I don't think there's any question about that. I'm going to round out my fucking top 4 skill positions and take Marlon Mack. I think he's going to have a fucking monster year this year.
Kerryon Johnson went off the board after Pat Mahomes and Stephon Diggs. And then you took Marlon Mack. All right, I'm sitting with Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, and Jorge Kittle. Right now, for me personally, on the board, we've got Cooper Kupp, who's coming back from an ACL injury. He's not going to be back for a while. That's top ranked on the board. Alshon Jeffrey's after that. Alshon Jeffrey is too hit or miss to me.
And it's not just him being hit or miss. I don't take an Eagles receiver because I don't know what Homeboy's going to do there. And now he doesn't have Foles as a backup.
No.
So if he gets hurt again, like he does every goddamn year, they're fucked.
Kenny Galladay is on the board. James White, Sony Michel is there. Chris Carson, Philip Lindsay. For me personally, at this point in my draft, I have a great tight end. I have a one wide receiver, and I have Le'Veon Bell. I'm gonna dip back into the running back sitch here and go. Look, I draft this guy every single year. He puts up 15 points every single game.
Mostly on catches.
He catches 7 to 9 balls a game
for 80 yards. Every game.
Every single game. Maybe runs for about 20 yards, and that's James White from the New England Patriots. Every year this guy comes to ball out, and I've never had a disappointment with him. He's not sexy. Nobody knows his name. Matter of fact, if he took off his fucking helmet and walked in the studio, I wouldn't know that it was James White, and I've drafted him for 4 years now. For 4 years fucking straight. After that, Sony Michel went off the board. Cooper Kupp went round 4, pick 9. Alshon Jeffrey, round 4, pick 10, and then Kenny Galladay, who, look, I think Kenny Galladay is going to have a monster season, man.
I think those are all good picks except for Alshon Jeffrey. He, to me, is a 6th, 7th round pick.
Same. I don't believe in the Alshon Jeffrey hype. I believe in the Eagles hype. I think if Wentz stays healthy, it's going to be a great team. But
well, I think if he stays healthy, then Jeffrey probably has a really good year. But you can't count on either one of those things. One guy is inconsistent. The other guy can't stay healthy.
To me, Alshon Jeffrey is too dependent on the deep ball. And, they got Deshaun Jackson there this year. Who is been
better at the deep ball than
a lot better than
pretty
Alshon
much anybody.
Jeffrey, so
he's one of the best at the deep ball, actually.
Chris Godwin, another sleeper this year, man. I drafted him last year, and I was a little too early on that. He had a decent year, but not a great year to be a starter. I think this year he's got a chance to be a great starter or a great flex. And he went at the end of the 4th round out of Tampa Bay. After that was David Montgomery, the running back out of Chicago, who's new there this year. Chris Carson, running back for Seattle. Look, the Seattle running back situation to me has always been a goddamn mess. They got Penny back there. They got Chris Carson. I don't know who the real starter is. I steer clear of anybody from Seattle, running back stitch-wise. But I think Seattle might have a decent year this year. Doug Baldwin had to retire. After that, Philip Lindsay is off the board. That's a great running back for round 5.
Yeah, it is.
That was the 3rd pick in round 5. And then Mark Ingram. Look, Mark Ingram's probably going to be the guy in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson can't throw worth a shit.
No.
So he's going to be handing off the ball a lot. Mark Ingram's a great pick in round 5. So there's still some running backs left.
Yeah, I mean, there's Tariq Cohen from Chicago.
Right. And now I'm back on the board here. And look, they're showing me a lot of wide receivers here. Tyler Lockett out of Seattle. He's fine. I always shy away. I still don't believe in Russell Wilson. I never have and I never will. And this is just a personal thing.
Yeah.
Tyler Lockett probably is the guy here to take. Sammy Watkins is right after him. Tyler Boyd is there. DJ Moore. Allen Robinson. But then I'm going to slide on down to 57. Calvin Ridley
Yeah.
is still on the board, and he was fucking awesome last year. I think with the second year in that system with Matt Ryan and that familiarity, I'm gonna go down and take Calvin Ridley because I don't think he's gonna be there the next round. So I'm gonna draft him here. It's a little early, but I don't think he's gonna be there because I get the 6th pick.
Yep.
So I'm gonna take Calvin Ridley and go fuck myself. And that gives my lineup right now: Le'Veon Bell, James White, Antonio Brown, Calvin Ridley, and George Kittle. Who are you sporting here through 5 rounds? Because you're on the clock right now.
So far, I've got Derrick Henry, Marlon Mack, Michael Thomas, and Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
So
it's
doing
a
pretty
decent
well.
squad, yeah.
Now you got to look at where are you missing players? Like, are there going to be good wide receivers for your bench as you move down this list?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a flex yet. But you also, like, keep in mind, there are, like, little subtle things about this. So look at your board and then scroll down the number of picks before your next pick and just see who's visible on that board now, because this plays a role psychologically. And I'm looking at it right now, and the first name that pops out to me is Deshaun Watson.
Right.
It's a little early for a quarterback, but I know that he's not going to be there when I come back around, so I'm going to take him
in
now.
this next round.
Yeah, he won't be there.
I think
somebody
he will.
Somebody will see him on the board and take him. And after I take Deshaun Watson, somebody after me, between me and 66, the next pick,
We'll pick a quarterback.
We'll pick Aaron Rodgers or Matt Ryan.
Probably. To me, that's a little bit of a reach right
It's a
now
little
for,
early, yeah.
for Deshaun Watson.
It's a little early, but it's. I'm trying to fuck with people and start a run. No, for real. I want people to see me, and this is a legit strategy. I want people to see me pick a quarterback and think, oh shit, I've got to get a quarterback now because there's only 2 great ones left.
Right. And by the way, in the round 5, the pick before me went Jarvis Landry.
Yeah.
And that's about, in all these mock drafts, that's about where he's going, is round 5 or round 6, and that's a fucking steal, man.
It is, yeah.
Because to me, he's got some of the best hands in the business. Me, along with the rest of the world, is looking forward to Jarvis Landry and that new Cleveland offense. So we'll see. That's a great pick. Right after me, obviously, you were pick 7. You went to Deshaun Watson.
Yep.
Tyler Lockett went after that. Then Tyler Boyd, the battle of the Tylers. Evan Ingram went. Is he the best tight end on the board at this point? Probably. Because the Giants is pretty much the only option the Giants have. Sterling Shepard is out with a broken thumb game 1. Corey Coleman tore his ACL. And then they had another fucking receiver go down.
Yeah.
And
they've had a bad time.
Evan Ingram is the only person they can throw to.
They're the Falcons of this year.
Of the preseason.
So I'm up again and got a quarterback now. Now I'm looking at my flex position because I don't give a shit about any of this other stuff. The question is, Sammy Watkins puts up a lot of points. Mike Williams puts up a lot of points. Well, Mike Williams, there's 3 other receivers there in L.A. that he's in competition with for the ball. And I don't know how it's going to go this year.
Right.
So I'm going to lean away from him. I'm looking at Lamar Miller right now. I think, I had him on my board. If he's available in the 5th or 6th round, take him as my backup.
As a running back?
As my 3rd running back.
Yeah.
So there we go.
That's a great choice in this round. Being this late to get a starting running back out of Houston.
As your RB3, yeah, that's a really
Houston
good
could be great.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm on the clock. So I'm scrolling through this board right now. Best available, Sammy Watkins, Robbie Anderson, Mike Williams, Miles Sanders, the running back out of Philadelphia.
Oof.
It's a little much to me, their hombres. Tevin Coleman, LaShawn McCoy, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Will Fuller, 5. And then Marvin Jones Jr., who, look, I think is a great sleeper, and I think he's going to have a bounce-back year this year. I'm hard-pressed at this point in the draft because we're now into round 6 to pass on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, actually,
Aaron Rodgers sitting there in the 6th round is too good for me to pass up at this point.
Yeah.
And I don't have a quarterback. I have 2 great running backs. I have 2 great receivers and a great tight end. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers here.
You're going to take him instead of Matt Ryan. Don't you think Matt Ryan has more weapons?
He does, but it's Aaron Rodgers. And, as far as touchdowns go, he's the guy, dude. I will always probably go Aaron Rodgers over Matt Ryan no matter what. So Aaron Rodgers is off the board. I drafted Aaron Rodgers. Not bad for the 6th pick in the 6th round.
No.
Because I wasn't that amped with the players that were on the board. O.J. Howard.
You started a run there.
Off. I did. Baker Mayfield went after Aaron Rodgers. Sammy Watkins went after that. Matt Ryan went after that. Andrew Luck went after that. I started a massive run.
Yeah.
And I think, to me, this is where quarterbacks should start to be drafted.
Yeah.
At this point. So
that's what I was trying. This is a mock draft, obviously. That's what I was trying to do in round 6.
Yeah.
Or in round 5, rather.
But it didn't happen, and I did it. And again, if you're at home, you should probably only listen to me. And Dan, you should just really, really shut out, because he didn't win any leagues last year, whereas I won almost every single league I played in last year. After Andrew Luck, Miles Sanders went off the board, the running back from Philadelphia. Will Fuller 5. I love Will Fuller 5, man. Problem is he can't stay healthy.
Yeah.
If he can have one healthy season, him and DeAndre Hopkins could set the world on fire in Houston. Robbie Anderson went after that. Robbie Anderson is another guy. He's the James White of wide receivers to me. Always dependable. Has about 1,000 yards, even on shitty teams. With Darnold, back, and Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is going to open up that passing game, man. Mm-hmm. And Robbie Anderson could be a great pick. Great value pick there in round 7. At pick 2 in round 7. Jared Cook went off the board. Right after that, in case you don't know about Jared Cook, he went to New Orleans this year. Signed with New Orleans in the offseason. That's a decent pick. It could be for Breeze.
That could be a game changer for his whole career.
Because I drafted him last year when he was playing in Oakland, and he had a pretty decent season with Drew Brees, who uses his tight end a lot.
Yeah,
that could be a big boy move and a really, really great sleeper as far as tight ends go. Mike Williams went off the board after that, and then Eric Ebron. Eric Ebron, man, another guy who had a great year last year.
Yeah, and he's in Indy, so we'll see what happens.
He was in Indy last year with Andrew Luck. I had him in 2 of my leagues, and he put up some big boy fucking numbers. Dude, in 2 of my leagues last year, Dan, this is the first time this has ever happened to me in 20 years of playing fantasy football. I started 2 tight ends for an entire season. Eric Ebron and George Kittle. Ebron was a backup for me, and I drafted George Kittle. I was not expecting. Ebron scored a touchdown every fucking game, it felt like, and I just couldn't bring it upon myself to bench him. I've never done that before, and I ended up winning one of those leagues with a 2 tight end set, which is look, that'll never happen again, but I am on the clock right now, and I got to tell you, I think I'm going to go Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah, he might have a great year this year. Speaking of Arizona, Christian Kirk was on my board to pick up later. What are we in, the fucking 7th round right now?
Yes.
I think it might be a little early for him, but he's up here, and I don't see anybody that looks that much better.
Pardon the interruption. I had Tevin Coleman queued up. And so I got Tevin Coleman on the team.
It's not a bad pick.
He was in my queue. Yeah, I needed him as a backup running back, and he's in San Francisco this year. So
we'll see what happens there.
We'll see what happens.
They may end up having a really good year with him, Kittle, and an actual healthy quarterback.
Fitzgerald is in my queue after that. Look, if you have a guy who's in a fucking air raid offense like that, I think Fitzgerald could end up having a good year. So
yeah, I like Fitzgerald. I like Kirk because he's younger, same team.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fitzgerald's probably going to catch more of the shorter passes, so he may end up making more points with less work. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to go with Christian Kirk right here.
Another sleeper, man. A lot of people are high on Christian Kirk this year.
He's definitely my sleeper list.
It depends on how Homeboy plays, Kyler Murray plays.
That's what I just think he's going to have a good first year, and then they're going to get tape on him, and he's going to start getting fucking wrecked.
Yeah,
That's
Marvin Jones Jr. ended up going after that. Sterling Shepard. Look, he's only out week 1, so with that broken thumb. Corey Davis went after that from Tennessee, the only wide receiver I feel like who's in Tennessee. Cam Newton went off the board. Then Golden Tate, who's
out 4 games.
Yeah, out for games for fertility. He's the wide receiver we were thinking.
So here we are now, and I'm back. So I've got what is this?
Yeah.
So I've got Deshaun Watson, Derrick Henry, Marlon Mack. I've got Lamar Miller in my flex. I've got Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill, and Christian Kirk. I can go either way. I could go running back. I could go look at one of these tight ends and And I'm actually going to take Njoku, however the fuck you say his
Njoku.
name. I think he's the last good tight end on this board. I think he's better than Vance McDonald. He's going to have a much better year.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
dancing with Vance too.
I'm going to pop him right here.
Mm-hmm.
Fill out my starting lineup.
Njoku, dude, he could have a great year in Cleveland. There's that ball's got to go a lot of places up there.
Yep.
Here's not all right. So again, queued up for me was Larry Fitzgerald after Tevin Coleman.
Yep.
And I'm going to give it a shot that Kyler Murray is going to be throwing deep ball again. That coach, Kingsbury, believes in a college air raid offense. Larry Fitzgerald, man, is the one that's going to benefit from that, and Christian Kirk.
Yeah, I think they're both going to have super fucking good years. I think they're going to put up 8-9 catches a game. Probably.
Yeah. So I'm going Fitzgerald in this one, and I hope he goes out with a bang because I think this is his last year.
It might be, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, he never got a real shot at any kind of championship because he played his whole career there in that shithole.
Well, yeah, he had one, when the Pittsburgh Steelers came back. I wish they would have traded him to a contender.
Was that the year that the Steelers offensive coordinator became their head coach?
Yeah, I would have loved to see him in New England, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that would have been
a great fit.
I mean, he may still go there after this year. Who knows?
After Fitzgerald was Rashard Penny. Again, we're in the 8th round here, pick 8. Vance McDonald. A lot of people are expecting a lot of big things out of Vance McDonald this year. The tight end for Pittsburgh. Yeah. Darrell Henderson went after that. The Rams running back. Apparently they're handicap or cuffing. They're cuffing Gurley, which is a smart move, man.
Yeah.
Latavius Murray's after that, who's he's the backup running back in New Orleans this year. Switched over from the Vikings. Naheem Hines, the backup running back in Indianapolis, went after that. Jordan Howard. I think Jordan Howard, man, could surprise some people in Philadelphia this year.
Yeah, if anybody in Philly can stay healthy and throw him the ball, then he may have a really good year.
Trey Burton went after that, the tight end for Chicago. Again, round 9, pick 2.
If I'm not mistaken.
Peyton Barber. If Peyton Barber, he got 1 million touches last year and had 58 yards per game. If he can figure it the fuck out, he could be good.
I think
they also got Jones there, so he'll probably be a backup this year.
There'll be more solidity on that team this year.
First defense is off the board here.
In round
9, the Bears.
Anyways, that's a homer pick. That guy's definitely from Chicago.
If you're gonna sneak up and take a defense, right? In 9, the Bears are the ones to do it because look, they haven't slowed down. Although they did lose their defensive coordinator, he's now the head coach of the Broncos.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
And Carson Wentz went off the board as well. I am on the clock here, and I've got Aaron Rodgers, Le'Veon Bell, James White, Antonio Brown, Calvin Ridley, George Kittle, Tevin Coleman, and then I got Larry Fitzgerald here. Best available on the board here. One of my big sleepers this year is Curtis Samuel. I think Curtis Samuel, they don't have a lot of great receivers in Carolina. Yeah. This is also partly a homer pick because he's an Ohio State guy. But he catches a lot of balls, catches a lot of those intermediate passes, and I think he could put up some big numbers this year. Just ahead of him is N'Keal Harry. I think he could have a great year this year. I heard he was not that great in camp, so earlier on. So I'm going to go Curtis Samuel, and that'll put you on the board here. But Samuel, man, he's got the opportunity for a big season.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a couple of guys that might have big seasons. If Denver can turn it around, Cortland Sutton is probably going to have a good year. Mm-hmm. If anybody gets injured at all, Kiki Kuti from Houston's going to fucking...
Kiki, do you love me?
He's going to get some touches. He'll definitely be targeted quite a bit. And then Deshaun Jackson, I think...
I know, man.
He's just so explosive that it's hard not to take him right here.
And every year he ends up having a fucking decent year if he can stay healthy, man.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take him because I think they have more options in Philly than they've had in the past, and there's not gonna be so much pressure on him. And with Ertz and with what's his nuts?
Who's his dick?
Shit, what's the guy's name? The fucking running back, that young running back from Philly that just came off the board a minute ago. What's his name?
Fuck,
I
man.
don't remember his name. Anyways, they're going to be able to spread the ball around a little more, and I've already got plenty of talent here, so I'm going to fucking pop this little fucker.
Yeah.
Deshaun Jackson.
And at home, by the way, when we started at the top of the draft with quarterbacks and saying how deep it was at quarterback, just to prove that point, Dak Prescott is still on the board in this round. Drew Brees was still on the board. Roethlisberger was still on the board at this point. Yep. Tom Brady still on the board. Russell Wilson still on the board. Jared Goff still on the fucking board.
Yeah, it's hard to turn some of these down. So a couple of guys that I had on my list for sleepers, Royce Freeman was one of them.
Yep. And
I'm looking at him here in the midway through the 10th round. I think that's a good pickup. I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, Kyler Murray's still out there, Jared Goff, Tom Brady, and we're going into the 11th round now. So I'm telling you, I know I did it because Watson was there and I was trying to start a run, and you did it in the following round, and you did start a run.
I did.
But
I'm an amazing human.
If you don't get involved in any of that, you can still pick up one or two of these really good quarterbacks later in the fucking draft.
100%. And we're in round 10, and I'm on the clock here with Le'Veon Bell and my boy White here. I took Tevin Coleman as well. Look, here's the round where I don't know how long Kareem Hunt's out for. Here's the round I go for Kareem Hunt, hoping that he returns to glory and that he's just as good as he was for Cleveland, that he was in Kansas City. So I'm going to take Kareem Hunt here, and this is in the 10th round. And look, that's where he's been going. I've seen him go 8, 9, and 10, Kareem Hunt. And, I'm going to stash him away on my bench. I feel pretty confident with the running backs I got. And, a kicker went off the board, which is awful. Awful. Justin Tucker.
Somebody always goes up and gets Justin Tucker.
Justin Tucker got drafted after Kareem Hunt. Look, is Justin Tucker the best kicker in the business? You bet he is. It is way too early to go for a fucking kicker simply because they don't put enough points on the board.
No.
That is a last round pick.
Like one game a year, your kicker's going to have a blow up game and win you a game probably, but that's just one game, man.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. So I'm up next here, and I'm looking at best on the board here in round 11. And look, Kyler Murray's still there. Tom Brady. I obviously have a quarterback, so I'm not going quarterback. Deshaun Hamilton. This Marquez Valdez-Scantling. They're expecting a lot. They're calling him MVS, dude.
Yeah.
In certain crowds, and I'm like, man, that's a lot for a nickname already for you. You know,
it's kind of early.
Kind of early for a nickname.
See what happens.
I like it because I think it's only him and fucking Devontae Adams up there. So I think I'm gonna have to go that route as far as best available. Tight end wise, Greg Olson's still out there.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, really interesting. But I'm gonna go Scantling here, and for Green Bay. And put him in there because I think he's going to have a decent season as well.
Yep. And now I've got
in case one of these that fucking turd,
yeah,
Devontae Adams gets hurt.
We'll see. I mean, it's
and I'm also pairing him up with Aaron Rodgers as well.
Yeah, so you get those double points. Yeah.
Correct. Nothing I love than double dipping, dude.
Discount double check. So now I'm looking at Kyler Murray, and Tom Brady are at the top of the board. I've already got a quarterback, so I don't care.
Right.
Deshaun Hamilton's a good player. I don't know what's going to happen in Denver. I expect big things out of either Pittsburgh or Indy this year, maybe both. So we've got James Washington and we've got Devin Funchess. I think Indy's going to have a better year than Pittsburgh. So I'm going with Devin. I think he's gonna have a good year. Plus, it matches up with a bye week for me, so it makes sense.
Flying off the board here, Russell Wilson, Jared Goff, Foreman, the running back out of Houston.
Yep.
Carlos Hyde was not aware he was still alive, but he is. Matt Breida, look, he had a bunch of injuries, but he can be amazing if he can stay healthy. That's just staying healthy. DK Metcalf rounded out the round 11, by the way. I don't know how you feel about him.
I don't.
It is turned back around to me.
No, I'm on the clock now.
Ooh, is that you?
Yep.
You are on the clock, sir.
So I'm going to take a kicker. Let's see who's left here. We're in round 12. We're in the middle of round 12.
Defensives have started flying off the board. Another trend
yeah,
here.
So I'm looking.
Jaguars, Rams, Bills are off the board. Vikings defense off the board. Saints off the board.
The Bills for the second year in a year last year had the best run defense in the league.
I know. They had a shitty offense, which is why they were always on the fucking field. Kyler Murray went round 11 in this league, in this mock draft.
I am looking at defenses now in round 12. I think a lot of these, and it's part of it's because it's on auto draft. A lot of these are going to pop off the board before I get to them now. So I'm going to take the Chargers right here.
You're taking the Chargers defense.
Yep.
Okay.
I like that defense.
Okay. For me, because of the trend of defenses going off the board, and I don't have a defense. Yeah. Now I'm stuck essentially, or else I'm dealing with the fucking shit heaps.
Yeah.
The fucking b-holes of the draft. Yep. And here's best available defenses. Patriots are just okay every year. They're serviceable. Yep. Nothing sexy. They're not going to give you that big game. You got the Colts. You got the Broncos. The Broncos always have a great defense.
Yep.
Problem is they might not have a great offense, and that defense might be on the field too much.
Yep.
Here's where I slide on down, and I go Hart. I go J.J. Watt and the boys, and I take the Texans defense, and then I hope Clowney plays and doesn't sit out. I also think they will pay him, so I'm gonna take the Texans defense here. My sleeper defense, by the way, is the Falcons. And I'll tell you why. If they can stay healthy.
Yeah. They were all
great.
Dead last
year.
year.
Dan Quinn is now taking over the defensive play calling for the Falcons defense this year. He was the defensive coordinator of the Seattle Seahawks.
How many?
But they got to stay healthy.
How many guys on their defense were out for more than like 8 games last year?
Yikes.
Like 4 or 5, right? Major pieces were out for 8 games or more. I think I don't remember the exact number, but it was fucked up.
Yeah, it was fucking brutal, man. Right around week 3 or week 4, I remember on the show I came on and I said the Falcons season is over. Everybody at home was like, "Man, you really get off the bandwagon quick." I was like, "It's not a bandwagon. I'm a diehard Falcons fan, and I always will be."
Yeah.
But I recognized how many injuries were piling up for those guys, and you just can't come back from that.
Yeah.
Because there were season-ending injuries. It wasn't like, so-and-so's out for 2 weeks or high ankle sprain or whatever. These guys were out for the year. And I was like, you can go ahead and write this team off. And that was it. And I was correct in that assumption. Hopefully we'll be able to do it this year. Tom Brady, by the way, went off in round 11. Pick 10, round 11. At the end of the 11th round, Tom Brady went out. That's a bit of a surprise. Now's when the draft starts flying here. Flying by. And I'm about to be on the clock. To me, this is where I like to go. Round 13 is where I like to go backup tight end.
Yeah.
Because if you lose your starting tight end to an injury, you are colossally fucked. And the best available is Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen's always pretty solid.
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy. So to me, Greg Olsen's a no-brainer here as a backup tight end, and I'm going to take Greg Olsen here in the 13th round, and hopefully he can stay healthy. Or hopefully Kittle plays all year, and I don't have to fuck with this guy.
We'll see.
So Greg Olsen is off the clock. Another one of my sleepers this year is Paris Campbell.
Yeah, maybe
out of Ohio State, man. He was like Person Harvey to us.
Yeah,
and in that offense, and because he'll probably end up playing in the slot or out of the backfield. In that offense, he's going to catch a lot of fucking balls from Andrew Luck.
Yep.
You put that guy in open space, and he's fucking gone, man.
Yep.
And I know he's ranked 137 on here. I would pray that he's around, and I would scoop him up.
Yep.
But there's no way he's going to be. You're on the clock here at round 13.
Yeah, I'm looking down the list. Not seeing anybody that really stands out that much to me. I liked Greg Olsen. That would have been my pick right there, even though I don't usually draft 2 tight ends.
You don't?
It's so weak this year, though. Like maybe even more so than last year. That you kind of have to. I like Jordan Reed, and here's why.
Jordan Reed, talent-wise, should have been in the Hall of Fame.
He's got Dwayne Haskins throwing to him this year.
He cannot fucking stay on the field.
I know.
But yes, if that's your backup tight end, 100%.
Yeah,
go Jordan Reed, because that's big risk, big reward. If he stays healthy, he's one of the best to do it.
Yeah, and I like him because he's got Dwayne Haskins throwing to him this year. Dwayne Haskins, a big guy, doesn't move around a lot, so he's going to need that tight end catching balls.
Yep.
So it just makes sense.
Paris Campbell went off the board in round 14. First pick in round 14. That's man, it's a great pick to me, man. That's where I would take a flyer on him as well.
Yep.
He's still a rookie and it's his first year in the league, and they got T.Y. Hilton and the boys and all that shit. But if used right, he could rack up a lot of points in a PPR league.
Yeah.
And this PPR is what we're all about. You were back on the clock in round 14. What are you looking to get here?
I'm looking for anybody that stands out that slips someone's mind. I think Jameis Winston's a pretty attractive pick right here.
Yeah, and this is the last year in his contract. Yeah. A lot of people are expecting big things out of Tampa Bay's offense this year.
So I would take him, and this isn't a real draft, but I would take him right here probably, even though I usually wait around for quarterbacks. Somebody like that has the potential to have a super explosive year.
Sure.
May as well take a flyer on him in the 14th round. Why not?
Yeah. I'm gonna go through and just see here who the best running backs are. Kalen Ballage, Dion Lewis, Jamal Williams, Giovanni Bernard, Ito Smith. Ito Smith, man, is a guy to me that if Devonta Freeman goes down, he's the dude, and he looked really fucking good.
He looked pretty good.
Short spells last year. So I might take a flyer on him. I'm going to also look at the wide receivers since I've got two tight ends sewn up in that butthole. Kenny Stills, man. Kenny Stills puts up the stats every year.
Yeah.
Fitzpatrick, they said, is the guy in camp right now.
Adrian Peterson's still down there too.
Adrian Peterson he's 500 years old and he's in debt. So
he's running for his life right now.
He is literally running for his life right now.
I don't think that's a terrible pickup either.
Money, and then quarterback-wise, here's who's still on the board: Lamar Jackson and these guys, Kirk Cousins, Garoppolo, Josh Allen. I think I'm gonna squeeze on down here and grab Ito Smith in round 14 in case Devonta Freeman looks like shit again this year.
Yeah. So I'm back on the clock. I got 2 picks left. No kicker, but who gives a shit? Well, come on. Almost. No, you're going back on before me. I read that wrong.
Right, I'm going back on. So here, this is round 15. It's a 16-round draft. I always take a backup quarterback.
Yep.
Some people don't. Some people like to stream quarterbacks. I do. I feel that if you have a shitty quarterback, it could fuck your entire year. Therefore, I try to go QB. This year, man, I'm going to go because Kirk Cousins is on the board here. And this is, again, 15 out of 16. This 15th round, 16. Kirk Cousins is still on the board. I think he's going to have a pretty decent year. Sam Darnold is on the board. Jimmy Garoppolo is coming back from that torn ACL. Josh Allen, statistically, fantasy football-wise, was the best quarterback in the league the last 4 games of the year. He's going to be running the ball a fuck ton, but he's not that accurate of a passer, and they got him 0 help at the wide receiver position this year. Derek Carr could be a sleeper this year. But to me, my backup quarterback is actually going to be Matthew Stafford. I think with the tight end, I think Marvin Jones is back. I think Kenny Golladay is going to have a good year. Stafford is one of those guys on a bye week that could put up 30 fucking points out of the blue, and I'm going to draft Matthew Stafford as my backup quarterback this year. And that is in round 15. Kyle Rudolph went off the board. Lamar Jackson went off the board in round 15. Mohamed Sanu. Mohamed!
He's a good guy. So I'm looking down this list just based on, oh, man. It gets so thin here.
Doesn't it? Are you up in 15 right now?
Yeah, I'm up. I could use another running back. I don't really need one. And there's going to be, there's only a couple of picks left. There's going to be running backs left in free agency after this.
Mm-hmm.
this is the point where you could take flyers. Like if Duke Johnson gets traded to a team that really needs a running back, he could be pretty good somewhere. I wouldn't waste this pick on him. Maybe if it was the last round, I would do it. Jimmy Graham's good. He could be trade bait for somebody if he actually starts having a good year. That's not a terrible pickup. But I'm going to go with, God, where the fuck was it? I missed it. I'm going to go with this Chris Thompson kid. Because I think
out of Washington?
Yeah. I think everybody in Washington is going to get killed. Like, I think everyone's going to have injuries. They just have a history of having injuries.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to get some serious playing time somewhere towards the end of the season where maybe one of my better running backs is out because he's sitting out because he's on a good team. And this guy's going to be getting reps. So there it is.
Giovanni Bernard as a handcuff here in the 15th round is not a bad pick for somebody else. And Jimmy Graham, man, surprised to see him go at 16. If he stays healthy, he's the guy in Green Bay.
Yeah.
Man, that's.
And this is the last pick of the draft. Just going to take a kicker.
It is. Yeah, you are. You are going to take a kicker.
I may as well.
About earlier, right?
It depends on what else, but I feel like I had a pretty good draft here. I don't see any big problems. Like if I felt like, man, I need one more running back, I'd probably skip it and then pick one up in free agency after camps and preseason and shit. But I may as well just take this shit and get it over with.
And this is round 16. This will complete my draft. I'm also going to take a kicker here. And out of the kickers available, a lot of people like to pair up their quarterback with a kicker.
Yeah.
So that way you're getting extra points. Mason Crosby's on the board. Obviously, my quarterback is Aaron Rodgers. Jake Elliott is on the board here. And then there's just a bunch of slapdicks after that, obviously. Stephen Hauschka. The Hauschka of pain is on the board here, but I'm gonna go Mason Crosby and team him up with Aaron Rodgers, so that way I can double dip off of points here.
You're definitely gonna score some touchdowns here.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take Mason Crosby, and that will round out my mock draft. Out of curiosity here, let's see who the last pick was. Aldrich Rosas for the kicker for the Giants. Right before that was Ryan Suckup, the second to last pick. Ironically, he was the last pick in the draft in real life. He was Mr. Irrelevant. Now he's the second to last pick.
There we go.
In fantasy football draft. And this completes our 2019 mock draft. D'Anthony, why don't you read off your team to me here?
Sure. I've got Deshaun Watson, Derrick Henry, Marlon Mack, Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill, Njoku, Lamar Miller. I've got the Chargers defense and Matt Prater. And then on my bench, I've got Kirk, Deshaun Jackson, Royce Freeman, Devin Funchess. I've got Reed as my backup.
Jordan Reed.
Tight end. Yeah, Jordan Reed. I've got Jameis Winston. And then got Thompson as my fourth running back.
Okay. So my team could kick the shit out of yours.
We'll see.
And it's great. I'm gonna read off my full mock draft here. Aaron Rodgers is my quarterback. Le'Veon Bell is RB1. RB2 for me is James White. Wide receiver Antonio Brown and Calvin Ridley. Tight end George Kittle. I just want to go flex, gold on my neck, and that's Post Malone. No, I get Tevin Coleman in the flex here. Texans defense is my starting defense. Mason Crosby's my kicker. Larry Fitzgerald on my bench. Curtis Samuel. I'd probably throw in Curtis Samuel as my flex, to be honest with you, looking at it. Kareem Hunt, whenever he comes back, I've got him stashed away for the playoffs because, let's face it, with this team, I'm definitely making the playoffs. MVS, that everybody's calling. Scanling out of Green Bay.
Yep.
Greg Olsen is my backup tight end. Ito Smith is my backup running back in case Devonta Freeman shits the bed. And then Matthew Stafford is my backup quarterback. D'Anthony, how'd you feel about the draft and how it played out in your opinion?
I feel like I don't want to be stuck in the middle of the fucking draft order.
No. It sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It sucks. And you really, really have to focus when you're drafting. And I know that sounds completely fucking lame, but it's true. When you're stuck in the middle of the pack, you don't have a choice but to make the best picks on the planet because you don't have that turnaround in any of these rounds.
And you might have to take a chance here and there too.
Yeah, because if you're onesie twosies there, boom, you're going to get that back in the second, third round. If you're 11-12 in the first, boom, you're going to get two great players in that. And I feel like with where I drafted, I was fortunate to get Le'Veon Bell at 6. Because I still think he's going to have a monster year.
I think you'll have a monster year after week 4.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's still got to get his legs underneath him.
Yep.
But with Darnold, I think he's going to be handing off the ball, and I think he's good to go. James White is always fucking solid.
Yep.
Nothing sexy out of him. Again, 14, 15 points a game.
No, I think he might actually even have
Nothing
a better
sexy.
year this year than he did last year because
there's not 90 running backs there,
Yeah,
and Sony Michel is gone.
Yeah, well, Michelle's
he's there, but he's gone.
Yeah.
Like he's not.
And look,
What happened? He got hurt, right?
I think he got his knee scoped or something.
Yeah, something.
Like 2 weeks ago, maybe. And then
check on that because look, we could be incorrect and he could come back and be fine. Who knows? But
Gronkowski's gone, so that play where a big dude lines up in the slot, catches a pass, that's going to be James White now, probably.
Yes.
So
and Tom Brady he loves him. 90 years old.
Yeah.
He's going to be throwing a lot of those short intermediate passes.
Yep.
Him and Edelman are the guys that are going to benefit the most on that team. From that, Antonio Brown. Look, man, if he's still Antonio Brown, he could put up some big numbers.
Yeah.
The only thing that scares me is still the fucking Raiders.
Yeah.
And that team's a fucking disaster.
Well, I mean, it
was
could
a disaster
be
last year. It could be great.
Yeah.
But best available on the board at that time, again, with the fucking 6th pick, I didn't have a choice.
Yep.
I'm stuck with that. That was the best available pick there. Calvin Ridley. I'm amped about that. And he could be my first wide receiver on this team.
Could be, yeah. You don't know yet.
I don't know.
I expect Matt Ryan's going to have a big ass year this year.
Same, man. With Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley, and with Julio sitting out all the preseason, all these balls now are going to be going to fucking Ridley. So I'm good with that. Kittle, man. Kittle's a fucking beast. George Kittle, man. I had him last year on 3 different teams. Monster. Tevin Coleman up in San Francisco as well. Depends on what the injury situation's like for the rest of those guys, but he was great in Atlanta. He could be great there. We'll see if he's given an opportunity. Yep. Texans defense, look, J.J. Watt's always good for a few sacks. I feel pretty okay about the Texans defense. At this point in the draft, at 6, when you go on a run of defenses that was ahead of me,
you
get stuck. You get stuck. Same with quarterbacks.
And some of this stuff won't happen, by the way, that you saw today, guys, because if you auto draft in our fucking league, you lose your team.
Yes.
So a lot of this stuff, when it goes on auto draft, the auto draft automatically selects the top ranked player, regardless of what your team needs. So a lot of this shit won't go down the way it did, so don't get thrown by that. But you can. It is absolutely part of the psychology of fantasy football that you can start and end runs based on the way you select picks. Like if there's 4 wide receivers in a row selected and you don't absolutely need one, you should probably take a running back or another position there.
I agree.
To stop that run. Plus there's more, like the farther you go down the draft, the better value you're going to get for a different position at that player because people weren't drafting that position. It's just basic fucking statistics. So keep an eye on that shit because it's important. And especially if you're in the middle of the draft, you have to make great picks. Then you have to rely on some of these tips and tricks.
Yeah. Rounding out mine was Mason Crosby, kicker. I obviously teamed him with Aaron Rodgers.
He had some issues last year.
He had some yips at the end of the year.
Yeah, but it was
weird to see.
Look, he's been doing this for a while now.
I think he's been solid for many years. I teamed him up with Rodgers. With a kicker here, if he has a slow start, you can ditch him and pick up another kicker. I mean, there's 90 other kickers.
There will
out there.
be at least 2 kickers that no one's heard of before that will be putting up major points this season anyway. So
that torch you, and it doesn't really matter. Larry Fitzgerald is rounding that out again. I'm hoping that college air raid system benefits these guys. Curtis Samuels is one of my sleepers, and then Kareem Hunt I am stashing on my bench for whenever he comes back and decides to stop striking women. One every year, I feel like I get a wife beater on my team.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Yeah, is it the O.J. Simpson in me? Maybe,
could be.
Maybe.
We've got some questions here on the YouTube.
Fire away.
So Jordan Wenzel is actually trying to get into the shitbag league. What are we calling that one?
The Rejects League.
The Rejects, yeah. He's in Baghdad right now, so I'm gonna select him a spot just for being in overseas right now.
Okay.
And we'll move on from that. So Jordan says he's deployed 3 months on, 3 month off. And he's asking about the Black Rifle Coffee Club. Can you pause the 3 months you're gone? He doesn't need his wife and her sex trophies getting the hookup without him. First of all, I love that attitude. That's great. Secondly, which is not a word, you can definitely pause for as long as you want. You just have to keep logging in and pausing it. Or if you just call somehow the Black Rifle Coffee, I don't know, when you're home, call them and let them know that you're going to be gone for those 3 months, and they'll go ahead and skip those for you, and then they'll restart it whenever you call them back when you get back to the States.
Okay.
Let's see. Braden Waymont says, if Antifa went to the black hole, it would be bad. What's the black hole there? What's he talking about?
I don't know.
Like an actual black hole?
No, he's talking about the Raiders. Yeah, if they went to the end zone of the Raiders against the guys in the black hole.
Oh, the black hole. You're talking about those knuckleheads. Yeah, but they're going to be in Vegas this year. Is that going to travel?
No, this is their last year in
Oh,
Oakland.
it is their last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next year. I'm looking forward to them to go to Vegas.
Yeah, that's
I'm amped about that. But if Antifa went there, they would get their fucking dick bags handed to them.
I would love to see that. I went to see the Packers play the Raiders in Oakland, and I wore Packers gear, and I got some heat for it, I got to tell you.
Yeah.
I was openly booed by groups of people, and then they, bought me booze afterwards. So they're actually really friendly for the most part. It's not like San Francisco, you get your fucking head caved in. Apparently.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I feel the same way because I've been to a Raiders game, and everybody's really friendly.
They talk a lot of shit, but they're like,
but it's fun.
Yeah,
it's a fun
yeah.
atmosphere, and it's fine. Somebody said the Falcons going to the big show, the Super Bowl.
I don't know. The defense.
2 weeks we will have our NFL way too early predictions for the NFL season, and we will be betting on them live on air. Again, all of these are going to be live on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be doing that NFL special in 2 weeks. I don't have a lot of I don't think the Falcons can win the Super Bowl this year.
I don't think they've got a good enough defense to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I think they'll definitely be a playoff team unless there's injuries.
Craig Dulesky. Where's George Kittle from Iowa? Look,
Iowa doesn't exist, you piece of shit.
There is no debating that Iowa has become a tight end factory. 2 tight ends from Iowa got drafted in the first round this year. I get it. I'll give you that. They're a terrible football team, but
to me, Iowa is
they pound out the fucking hits.
I think I've said this. Iowa is Atlantis. It's a made up place.
Yep.
That doesn't exist. It's probably at the bottom of the ocean. I don't believe that it exists, and I don't believe that Craig Dulesky exists either.
Sean says, love the shirt, Dan. This is actually led by Iron.
Yeah, it is.
One of our good friends of ours, great T-shirt company.
Speaking of that, there's some stickers coming out for the Summer
Swayze stickers. Yeah, they did the Summer Swayze shirts. They did these Vandenham 2020 shirts. They did the original Gene Vandenham shirts. Go to ledbyiron.com, LEDBYIRON for those shirts.com. Those guys are great. We love working with them. Let's see here. The next question. Are you guys Giants fans at all? No, I'm not. I'm not a fucking look, because here's why I like this question. Because I'm not one of those assholes who's like, I have my favorite team. I don't like any other fucking teams. Yeah. I'm not going to root for any other team.
No, we love watching the Chiefs play.
100%. If my team is shitty or they're out of it or whatever.
Yeah.
I enjoy watching football that I will root for other teams. Mm-hmm. Last year was the Chiefs for me. That was the funnest team that I watched play, and I rooted for the Chiefs every Sunday. Yep. And
especially
I enjoyed it
at the Super Bowl.
Falcons were out week 4, and I love them. I still went back for a Falcons game and all that stuff. But the funnest team to watch in the NFL for me was the Chiefs and the Rams, probably after that. Yeah, I enjoyed watching all of those games.
We were definitely rooting for both the Chiefs and the Rams in the AFC and then the Super Bowl, respectively.
Yep.
For sure. I mean, look, I get it, Patriots fans. I get it. Okay?
Yeah.
I get it. But it's fucking boring, man. I don't want to watch Khabib fight. I don't care. Just tell me what happened.
Somebody else just wrote in. They said, Odin Allfather just wrote in, the Patriots are winning their 7th Super Bowl. I'm calling it. No, maybe. I am not. You think you're ready to make that call? I'm not.
No. I don't think they will, but I think it's a possibility. I just don't think they have enough receiving talent. They don't have Gronkowski this year. I don't think they have it this year.
I think that's going to really fucking hurt them that they don't have a great tight end.
Yeah.
All these years they've had a great tight end. I think it's really going to fucking hurt them this year. I do not think.
Aaron Garcia says, "Do y'all think the Giants should drop Eli?" I think they should have dropped him before last season. To be honest, like he should have retired already.
Here's where I'm going with the Giants. Okay. Don't even get me fucking started on the goddamn Giants. They should have drafted Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah. They had the 6th pick. They took
a guy.
Josh.
You want to talk about overreaching on a fucking pick since we're doing a mock draft. They overreached about 9 rounds on the kid out of Duke.
And there's only 6 rounds in the draft.
And he looks identical to Eli Manning.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Physically, he looks identical to Eli Manning. Awful, awful pick by the Giants. The Giants are going to be the Browns now.
Yeah.
The Giants are the Browns.
Yeah.
I think we can safely say that.
For a while.
Yeah.
Until they fucking figure it out.
I think you can go ahead and print those T-shirts. The Giants are the Browns. For Eli himself, look, man, this has got to be his last year. There's no way he plays another year after this, right?
He's 38 this
Unless
year,
he goes to the Broncos.
How funny would that be? He's got to break his neck first, though, I think.
Yeah.
Then go to the Broncos.
I think Eli... look, man, I think he's a Hall of Fame quarterback, and I know this is unpopular. And
2 rings.
2 rings, and go look at Eli Manning's stats. He's in the top 10 in almost every single category of quarterbacks of all time, and I don't know how you deny that guy.
No.
Has he looked shitty the last 2 years? Yes, but who's protecting him too? He's got no offensive line. He hasn't for 2 years. This has been a fucking shitty football team for years now.
Yeah.
And if I'm Eli, I would have retired at the end of last year unless he's trying to get one more big paycheck.
I would have, if I were the Giants, I would have forced them out. Look, you've got Saquon Barkley. You knew he was going to. You knew he was. No, fuck him. Bench him. You knew he was going to be great.
They did last year.
Yeah, halfway through. But like, you knew Saquon Barkley was going to be great. And you know, based on what Le'Veon Bell did and these other guys coming up the next couple of years, what they're going to do, that dudes are going to fucking opt out in their last year of that rookie contract and try. They're going to sit out or they're going to do something to try to get a major contract. You may only have another 2 or 3 years with this guy, with Barkley, unless you fucking build a team around him that's going to convince him to stay there.
Yeah.
Right? It's fucking dumb, man.
No, it's a team to me that's yet again sold another year to get another draft pick. But if you're drafting, at pick 7, the kid from Duke, who would have been there in the 5th round, you're throwing it all the way, man.
I don't know. Fucking Junior was, what's his name? God damn it.
I still don't trade OBJ. I mean, that's fucking dumb, man.
No. Well, I mean, OBJ didn't want to be there because
he was holding up the brand.
He felt disrespected or some shit. I don't know.
He's a fucking idiot when he opens his mouth. Great football player, but kind of a fucking piece of shit.
Mel Kiper believed in that kid from Duke. He thought he was the best quarterback in the draft.
That's crazy to me. That is fucking absolutely crazy to me. The next question, where do we stand on Kyler Murray?
You got it exactly right, Jordan. He's going to have a big first year, above average for sure, and then he's going to fucking suck afterwards.
I do not think so. I think he's going to have a lot of running yards. He's going to chuck the ball high in the air. Because teams don't have a lot of game tape on him, he could have some good games, but I think the Cardinals are going to be shitty. And I wouldn't be surprised if he gets hurt.
I could see that. Yeah, he's a small guy.
Small guy,
man.
Like
5'9".
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets absolutely butt crunched.
These are the same
someone.
Conversations, by the way, we were having about Russell Wilson when he got drafted, and he turned out to be one of
and
the better
Baker
quarterbacks.
Mayfield.
Yeah, and Baker too. Well, we'll see about him.
Well, I've got an unpopular opinion on Baker Mayfield.
Win the MVP this year?
No, not at all. Not at all,
You think he's going to get knocked out halfway through the season, don't you?
I think Game 3 he's going to get a broken collarbone.
Game 3? That's real specific.
Against the Rams.
Did you Nancy Kerrigan this guy? Did you pay somebody to break his collarbone?
I think Aaron Donald's going to fucking break his collarbone Game 3.
Has he been talking shit to Aaron Donald?
No.
Aaron Donald's a monster.
This is just a fucking
being.
complete Rostradamus prediction. He's a little guy, man, and I think you run around like that, and people got game tape on you in your second year, you're gonna get popped.
They know where that blind spot is. They're gonna.
That's what I think.
Let's
see. The next question is, what do we think about N'Keal Harry? Look, N'Keal Harry was a fucking sleeper for me this year. I thought he was one of the best the best wide receivers out of the draft. I heard he did not look so great in camp earlier in spring ball.
When you go on a team with a guy that's been playing for 18 years, the biggest thing is that the guy who's been playing for 18 years likes throwing the ball to you. Because there are plenty of quarterbacks that have their favorite wide receivers for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a personal relationship. Maybe it's the way they run their routes. Who the fuck knows, right? But not having a good camp, that's not a good sign. But who knows, right?
Who knows?
We'll see what happens.
It's super early in camp, obviously. But I'll tell you this to answer that question honestly. In fantasy football, I throw a 13 or 14 on Harry. Because
I mean, look, if he
think
works
his
out,
upside
he works
is
out.
Exceptional.
Yeah.
And look, with Edelman again running those intermediate routes, you got to have somebody who's going to go up and get those 50-50 balls deep. And he's the guy. I wouldn't be surprised if he had 7 or 8 touchdowns this year, N'Keal Harry.
I can see that.
So that's what I feel about him. Zeke's holdouts, thoughts. I think
we talked about this
Jerry
earlier.
Jones will back up the truck and end up paying him. I don't know if look, as a player, Zeke Elliott is fucking phenomenal.
He is, but
as a human,
the fact that he's holding out is whatever it is. But the fact that he's going to Cabo and making a scene about it, that is the part that would make someone like Jerry Jones tell him to go fuck himself.
Look, and as a human, Zeke Elliott, because he went to Ohio State, and Urban Meyer. Say what you will about Urban Meyer, he was the best at hiding how shitty people were as humans. Go back to Aaron Hernandez and all those guys.
Until the end, yeah.
Well, until they leave. Yeah. And then you can't protect him after that. He protected Zeke at Ohio State. He leaves, and now you've got a shit ton of money. You're a superstar in the NFL. You're top 5 draft choice, and you're great. He's made the worst off-the-field decisions, and it keeps happening over and over and over again with this guy. To me, man, if Jerry Jones doesn't pay him, it's going to fuck their year up.
Yeah,
the Cowboys.
I mean, they're going to punt for a year if he doesn't get him.
Yeah, and they've got a good team. I think.
Remember, they got what's his nuts from Green Bay.
Who?
Receiver, Randall Cobb.
Yeah.
So they've got like they got all kinds of weapons over there.
They do, but you still need Zeke to make this offense work. So my gut tells me that Jerry Jones backs up the truck and pays this fucking guy.
Do we know what he's asking for money wise?
Should we? If I was Jerry Jones, I'd go out to the press and I'd say, look, man, I'd love to pay you. I'd love to pay you as the highest running back in the league because you could be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
However, you were a fucking asshole as a human being, and every time you step off that field and go out, some fucking problem is going to creep up. You've already been suspended for, 6 games and all this other bullshit. And then he goes to this concert 3 or 4 months ago and pushes the security guard or the police officer, whatever the fuck it was. Like, shitty human, man.
Why doesn't Jerry Jones just hire 5 giant human being to follow this guy around everywhere? And if anybody gets near him, they take the charge.
It's funny you said that. You know who he did that with? Des Bryant. For years, he protected Des Bryant, and that's all he did. He had a full security team, Des Bryant, at his house. Everywhere he went, the security team went, and they basically kept that motherfucker inside of his house. They should do the same thing with Zeke Elliott. The problem is his dad, he's got normal parents. I don't know why he's such a cocksucker, but he's got normal parents, and they said no to that, I guess. But I know that's been offered to him. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. John Trammell, or Trammell.
Trammell, like Alan Trammell.
Yeah.
Hall of Famer.
How about the Panthers with the addition of McCoy, 6-time All-Pro? Panthers seem to be good every other year in this league.
Yeah, which would make them good this year because they sucked last
exactly.
year.
And it depends on the health of Cam Newton. Cam Newton.
It's not just his physical health, by the way. It's his, and when I say mental health, I don't mean he's crazy or anything, but he loses focus in games a lot.
Correct.
And I don't know if it's immaturity. You can't say immaturity forever. Was he 26 now?
He might be older. He might be 27 or 28.
Like, at some point, you got to you're either the guy or you're not, right?
Yeah. So, look, if you go on the every other year theory, the Panthers might be decent this year.
Yeah.
I don't think the issue is talent.
No, the problem is
it's all on Cam Newton and whatever's going on inside of his mind.
Yeah. And it's also the fact that they're in a division with the Falcons and the Saints. I mean, that's tough, man.
It's tough, but it's doable, and that defense always comes to play. Kuechly, is always fucking great. Yeah. He's probably going to get his 90th concussion this year. You can always chalk that guy up for one hard concussion where he's crying and then getting carted off the field. Yeah. And, he'll be the guy that has Parkinson's at fucking 38. But yeah.
A couple things got to click for those guys. I mean, Greg Olson's got to have a good year, stay healthy. Cam's head's got to be in the right space. But a couple things click, and then they're a fucking 12-win team. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. I don't know what their strength of schedule is. Let me look at their schedule right quick.
Well, 2 games are against the Saints and 2 are against the Falcons. Yeah. So that's going to be tough.
Shit, they open up against the Rams.
Yikes.
And they play Houston. They get to play Tampa Bay twice, which could be good or bad. We don't know yet.
We don't know. Look, that offense on paper for Tampa Bay looks deadly.
Yeah, but they got to play the 49ers, who are probably going to be good. They got to play Green Bay. They got to play Atlanta and New Orleans twice. They got to play the Redskins. We'll see about that. But they got to play Indy and they got to play Seattle. I don't know about the Panthers this year. That's a tough fucking schedule.
That's a really, really tough schedule. Jeez. And again, we'll cover this on the NFL show in 2 weeks. We'll go through all the schedules in our teams and our over-under for win totals. Last question. I know this is Odin. I know all of this has nothing to do with fantasy football draft. What do you think about Robert Kraft donating $100,000 to Jarhead's Motorcycle Club to memorialize the 7 vets who were killed?
I love it, man. I love Robert Kraft.
Same.
He's a rich old dude. Doesn't say mean shit to people. Doesn't say racist shit. He doesn't do stupid shit. He got a handy.
Most liked owner in the NFL from what everybody has said.
By his players.
By his players and other owners.
Yep.
A lot of these negotiations and these back and forths.
Yep.
Robert Kraft has been the voice of reason who steps in and takes care of it if there's other owners that are bitching. He does great shit like this off the field. To me, the fucking hand job shit, I don't fucking care. And that could have been any one of us on any given Sunday. Literally.
I'm burning.
Did it happen to him on Sunday?
No, it was Saturday, right? Because it was the day before the.
No, it was a Sunday game. We were at the game.
Yeah, but it was the day before the game, right?
He got the game. Yeah, and then he got on a private jet.
Good
brother.
Hey, that's the dream. All you motherfuckers that don't like him, you're just jealous that you didn't, 1, own a private jet, and 2, get a hand job that only took 11 minutes or whatever the fuck it took.
14
minutes.
In and out. That time code on the door was.
But
14.
He had to sign in and shake hands with the person, then clean himself off. I would say the handy itself was somewhere around 11 minutes, probably.
I don't think the hand job. I think because he had to undress. So
how long do you think it takes Robert Kraft to get his dick
3 minutes, man.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Is he dressed like somebody from the 18th century where he's got 7 layers of clothes?
Probably. I think so. He's always in like nice suits and shit like that. So yeah, I'd say it was a 3-minute handy.
Do you think like Barney Stinson, he wears a suit? Pajamas, like
underneath
pajamas to bed.
Yeah,
but it's a suit with a tie on it.
For sure. But Robert Kraft's one of the best owners in the league.
Yeah, I love that guy.
You can't deny how great the Patriots have been. And look, he's one of my faves. Shit like this, man. He probably does this all the time. To be honest with you,
say anything.
And doesn't say anything in this. He's not out looking for attention. All up in the videos, dancing. He's not Suge Knight.
No.
Like he's not Jerry Jones, for Christ's sake.
He and Suge Knight look a lot alike, but that's where the comparison ends, really.
By the way, even during the Meek Mill shit, when he was in prison, he came down to try to help out Meek Mill. He's a man of the people, dude.
You know what we haven't talked about, and this is off topic? We haven't talked about Donald Trump trying to help out some of our friends in hip-hop.
ASAP Rocky, dude. ASAP. Free ASAP, brother. That trial started today.
We need to what would you guys like to see?
You got a rain today, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get off this show now. We're going to cut this out, but comment here or go in the sports group and let us know if you would like to see a shirt with Donald Trump's face on it and it just says free ASAP. Because we might be able to do that. I don't know.
Might be able to free ASAP Rocky. Who knows? D'Anthony, this was fun.
It's good, yeah.
To everybody out there who's serious about fantasy football, if you're a fucking junkie, go to ESPN or CBS or Yahoo or whoever your league is in and do a mock draft, man. It really, really fucking helps. Because, again, when you're at random, it's the same way as you'll be on draft night more than likely, you can see how hard it is if you get 6 through 9 or how easy it is if you get 1 through 3 or the back half of the draft at 11 and 12.
Yep.
And it'll really, really help determine what you're going to do so you don't fucking choke and freeze up on the night of the draft and hate your life forever. Because let's face it, during the fall, if your pro team sucks or your college team sucks, at least you always have fantasy football. Now, if your fantasy football team sucks, You want to end it every single Sunday, man.
Then you have to hang out with your family and shit.
Oh, it's the worst. You want to be on your phone, dude, just clacking through the getting updates.
Look, if you want to do, so the ESPN one and CBS ones are good if you want to go against actual human beings. If you want to go against machines, you want to go against the computer, go to fantasypros.com.
Yep.
And check them out. You can do it's Draft Wizard, so you can set all the parameters. You can put yourself anywhere from 1 through 12 in the draft order.
Yeah.
You can set it to PPR, whatever you want to do, and you could run through like a whole draft takes like 4 minutes. You can just do them over and over again to see, and then change things up, make stupid picks, and see what the results are, because these are based on what the best fantasy football people in the world are like handicapping, basically.
Yeah.
So it's good research, and it doesn't take any time when you're fucking pounding off at home, waiting to fall asleep, waiting for the methadone to kick in.
Yeah. Are you a methadone guy?
I like both. I go heroin in one arm and methadone in the other. I don't even think you inject methadone. I don't know how it works.
No, it's a pill. It's a pill. Jamie, we're in production. Jamie, you've had an off day today, brother. You've had an off day today. Our producer, Jamie. Hashtag fire Jamie.
Yeah.
Look, D'Anthony, I'm going to beat you again. I think I drafted you here. That 6-7 was rough, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's tough. You don't want to be there. But if you're there, learn from our mistakes or the things we did well.
Or the things that I did great. But we'll be back. And again, sign up for Drinkin Bros Sports on Facebook. It is a private group. That's how you can get in our fantasy football leagues and play against us. It was a fun one, D'Anthony.
Yes.
I'm glad football season's back. Next week will be our college football special, and we'll also make our way too early picks. And we're going to start gambling on mybookie.com.
Indeed.
/Drinkin Bros. For the DB Sports Companion Show, I'm Ross Patterson. D'Anthony Holloway is always coming at you with the dead eyes. Subscribe on YouTube. Good night, everyone.